Do I want to spend this money?
Shut up, yo.
Alright, so just let me know when you are ready for the recording and we will start that, and I'll start the YouTube and I will start the music.
Alright, so folks, if you're joining us live, this is the raw, uncut version of the podcast. So we're just waiting to queue up for our YouTube.
Alright, so 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
What up, New Gaming Order? This is your co-CEO, co-producer, Alex Lexus, Nelson Rios, and the New Gaming Order staff. Mine is Gokin86. So, we got Shinwar, Brother Nuke, and On Your Knees with us. So, going around the table, we're opening comments. Shinwar, anything that you want to bring to the audience real quick before we get started?
We're at the end of the week. I don't have anything. I really don't have anything to say.
Oh, no games that you're looking forward to?
Dragon Ball Xenoverse. I think in a couple weeks. What else is coming out?
MK?
Yeah, that's in April. MK in April, but I'm pretty sure we'll probably talk about that stuff tonight. But yeah, looking forward to Dragon Ball. Hope it doesn't suck like the other two that came out previously. That's all.
No comment. Noop, any opening comments?
Hello, everyone. If you check out my page, Noob1949, I've been putting up a lot of gameplay videos. I just did a Set Overdrive. Not really a review, but just my impressions of the game, because it's got mixed reviews, and I was compelled to do a little, I guess, voiceover talk about it, because I don't like open world games, but I actually had fun with that one. I mean, I had more fun with that than Grand Theft Auto, and that's saying a lot.
Thank you.
I had way more fun, man, because it's so unpredictable and random, and I didn't feel like I was in the same place the whole game. But, yeah, it's on the playlist, gameplay videos. Keep supporting us, man. Thank you for all the love and support you guys have been showing us.
Alright, and New Gaming Order, Noop was streaming a Battlefield Hardline demo, and to me, it's like a cops and robbers thing, but we'll probably talk about that later in the podcast. But he provided a lot of content with the heist mode, and I guess like capturing the cars and all that, so that was good footage. Yeah. Alright, and on your knees, any comments before we get started?
Is he even there?
What?
I don't see him there. You see a chair.
Unbelievable. All we got is a chair in the background, but it's all good. All right. Nelson, opening comments before we get started.
Welcome to the podcast of February 5th of 2015. As you see, we have Noop's footage below, so you'll be viewing that while we broadcast this podcast. And we have some music to provide the stupid silence that we've been having. So, hopefully you guys like it. Now, I'm going to shut up, so On Your Knees can say his
opening comment.
Yeah,
all we saw was a chair, and the audience was like, hey, where's Chris?
You guys were taking too long to start, so I made a beverage.
Unbelievable.
Yo, beverage. I'm getting off.
It's a hot chocolate.
It should be tea, man, like Kermit the Frog. But that's none of my business.
What are you trying to say?
Choke on my dinner roll.
Thank you.
Choke on what? Hold on. Let's
my dinner roll. Shut up.
Let's get started. New Gaming Order. First topic of today: Halo Master Chief Collection, and a couple of rumors with a company that you might know, Bungie, floating around. But just to kind of set the foundation for this, now 343 Studios has been crucified for what has happened with the online multiplayer for Master Chief, or Master Beef Collection as New Gaming Order refers to it. And what? I remember On Your Knees had said sometime back on another podcast that, the game was rushed. Like, a lot of these games are rushed to hit a certain quota. Master Chief Collection was definitely rushed before getting so it can make it for the holiday season to help push the Xbox and so on and so forth. But then you got Assassin's Creed Unity, like They did
Oh
that
my God.
40 gig patch, but it fixed the game. You know what I mean? Now, the business
No, it
model.
didn't.
Well, it made it better than it was.
No, it didn't.
Emma
Okay.
said
But I'll give
a
Nelson his.
40 gig patch. Are you
Yeah,
kidding me?
literally, it's like you
Yeah.
download the game again for the most part.
That's how
But
fucked the game was. You had to download
Yeah,
it
it was
again.
bad.
because they rushed it, they put it out, and so on and so forth. But I wanted to reply to Review Tech USA video. He said that the Master Chief Collection is a complete and utter failure. I disagree. Yes, the multiplayer does take a little bit of time to get folks in there. I mean, honestly, the way that Titanfall did the online multiplayer, like, okay, if you don't have a certain player, they should have like a bot or an AI or something to kind of
Yeah,
cut the time down with trying to find players. You know what I mean? Just
Gears of
keep,
War did that.
yeah, I mean, keep it rolling. You know what I mean? So 343, if you guys happen to catch eyes on this video, you might want to think about that, especially like for Halo 5 Guardians down the line this year. You know, you don't want to mess that one up because that's the new Halo for your new system. But you know, I just wanted to bring that up, and then it's gonna be like a dual topic because there's rumors that Microsoft is somewhat trying to reacquire Bungie. Now the tweet that was put out there all of a sudden got deleted. So maybe in you know, the situation with 343 fumbling the ball, I don't want to blame them too much because Microsoft pushed them. They made them rush the game. I think if 343 had more time, the game would have came out the way that it was supposed to be. You know, poor guys are pretty much taking the heat for everything. But with that being said, you know starting with Shinwar, your thoughts on
What
you know
the heck?
what? Oh, you want to go last?
No, that's me, yo. I'm sorry. Put me in this little car and I gotta race a train. Go ahead, though.
Unbelievable. But Shinwar, with the multiplayer situation for Master Chief Collection, do you think it's a failure? I think Review Tech was actually reaching a little bit too far, but I do respect his opinion. You know what I mean? But I think that given enough time, they would have had the game released in its prime form. But you know, now it's the new business model. They put the game out, we'll patch it later because there's the internet and all that. And you know, this whole rumor about them trying to reacquire Bungie. You know, what are your thoughts on this, and what possibilities could this open for that franchise?
Well, I feel that the multiplayer for the Master Chief Collection has gotten just a tad bit better. It still needs work. You remember me, you, Nelson, and Nuke, encountering those matchmaking issues. When, let's say, if we had to wait like 20 minutes just to get into a match, and then when we get into the match, not all of us may make it into it, or it's just a mess. I think Review Tech was a little harsh. It's not that bad, but it still needs work. I didn't hear the thing about Microsoft trying to reacquire Bungie.
Yeah, that's new. That just started populating like around today. So
that doesn't surprise me. I mean, maybe they're trying to stick it to Sony, but that doesn't surprise me. But I believe with the beta, since we're all in that beta program, for the patch, they're really gonna iron out these kinks. But just like you said, Alex, they shouldn't have rushed that game. I mean, even when you look at the older Halo games, those matchmakings were fine.
Yeah, they're stable.
It was stable.
Yeah.
So, but even though they have everything collectively in one game, in one playlist per se, even though it's broken down, they should have just took their time with it and not rush it out. But they're dependent upon the internet, just like everybody else, to patch their games.
Yeah, and
So
you know what?
Mm-hmm.
That meme that you put with Super Nintendo 10 years without playing it, but not needing a BIOS update. Back then, the games were contained like, hey, we have to make sure this is good. But now they got this complacent mindset like, we know it's jacked up, but we'll patch it later. You can't do that. You can't do that.
That's not good for business.
Yeah, that's. But, Noop, what are your thoughts on this rumor with Microsoft trying to reacquire Bungie and Review Tech saying that Master Chief Collection is a complete and utter failure? Like I said, I still think that's a bit overreaching, but
that's overreaching.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm gonna be straight up. The game is worth the amount of money for the single player experience alone.
Yes.
I mean, and we're gonna get ODST for free, so you're getting 5 Halo games, 5 of the greatest single player campaigns in first person shooter history. You know what I mean? And you're paying what, $10 and some change for each game, or about $8 for each game, or something like that. I mean, that's great. The graphical updates were great. As far as them being rushed out, I mean, Microsoft, they had to sell systems and they had to sell software. And there's Halo. I mean, whenever you mention Halo, you're talking to millions, and I saw that the game sold like 1 million worldwide the first week. So you can't really call it financially, it wasn't a failure. As a game, I would say the online, you can probably say the online fell off, or it's a failure, but you can't call the complete game a failure because there's more to games than just multiplayer.
Yeah.
But I agree. Like, we talked about this a very long time ago. I don't know if you remember. We talked about these guys putting out these incomplete games and say, "Oh, we'll patch it later." That's not fair to people like me. And like, I'm the type of person, you got one time for me to spend $65 on your broke game. I'm not buying nothing else from you. I'm not buying anything else from you. No, I'm not. No, I'm not, yo.
You need it.
Companies over the years, yo. I've cut off so many companies because you have to show them until we stand up and show them that, hey, I care about where I spend my money, and you can't just shovel crap to me or I'm not gonna buy it. Guess what? They're gonna keep shoveling crap because they're like, you know what? They're gonna buy it anyway. That's what's gonna happen.
Okay. On your knees, what are your thoughts?
I think I already said in a previous podcast most of what I need to say. I mean, you ship the game broken. That's just bad shit. Noob has the right idea. If you want them to stop these practices, stop pre-ordering and don't buy any more games until they get their shit right. So, I mean, to go on his point, I don't buy EA games. I don't buy most of Activision games. I still buy Blizzard, but that's a little different. I don't buy BioWare and a bunch of other ones too, and I'm sure you guys don't buy some either, just because of their bad practices. But in terms of the rumors, according to the website you gave us, it's off of NeoGaf. As much as a shithole that place is, they are pretty accurate with rumors from my experience. So,
they had a track record. Like, they've been right when they put stuff out. So imagine.
But you got to read it into the thing that. The post says some big revelations happening with 343 Microsoft. All I could say is we're in for a big change. All that could be is that they're buying the rights back of the Halo series for 343. They may just be buying the rights back to the game. That's a rather vague thing that can mean a lot of things.
Now imagine, let's say some folks were to dissect that a little more. Let's say they snatch everything from 343, right? And kick them to the curb. That'd be kind of messed up. You know what I mean?
Well, they have a full studio. They can make their own games, or at least partner with who they need to. But considering the multiplayer snafu that the latest Halo had, they want to get that shit under control.
So where does Bungie come into? Where did that, all of a sudden, why are people throwing that into the mix?
I don't fucking know.
Because it's funny, other YouTubers and Review Tech even made a video about this, as we're going live today,
Well,
so
you gotta remember too. There's a lot of bad journalism out there. They see this one line and it just carries on forever and ever, and it gets repeated. Shit gets changed. Like the guy who did the Flappy Bird app. He doesn't make 100,000 a day or whatever they were saying in ads, but that was just whatever number was repeated or was stated was just repeated over and over. But that proper research was done. But this is the original source. This one post here. You put it on the Facebook, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's right there. That's exactly what it is. Read into it what you will.
Yeah.
But that's all there is. You gotta wait for more announcements or wait for more rumors to come out.
Okay. All right. And Nelson, bring this topic home. What are your thoughts on what we were discussing?
Well, in my honest opinion, Halo the Master Chief Collection needs to get this shit together. I bought the game. I probably only played the multiplayer at least 5 times ever.
That's a lie.
No, it's not. That's the thing. I got on 5 times only when I was invited to play. I never had the drive to pick it up myself and just play the game.
So you didn't play with us, Nelson?
You're not getting the point.
You don't count, Alex.
Stop the trolling. Anywho, as what Shinmura was saying about several people being a part of the preview program, they're giving us an update to see how well things go out when they're ready to roll it out. And well, I guess we'll be testing it for however long we want it. Hopefully.
And it was delayed too, till like mid-February, like later this month.
I mean, if it's delayed, it's fine. I mean, I'd rather for them to be sure and positive that something will work instead of just pushing it up like, oh, we need to get the money, guys, come on. But
Shut up.
every company shouldn't just jump the gun just to force the game to come out and then update it later. But that's the age that we live in now. It's not like how it was back then when we get completed Super Nintendo games or completed PlayStation games. Like you had to play with whatever was on the disc and be content with it. But this recent thing that you're talking about, that Microsoft is trying to acquire Bungie,
I beg your pardon, was that your foot?
I don't know. I haven't heard anything about this. I can't put my 2 cents on it. But if they're trying to seize control over, the consoles of Sony and Microsoft, I guess it'll be a good opportunity for them. But what else more can Bungie offer besides Destiny in the future?
Here's my thing.
The thing is, a lot of people, myself included, sometimes the name is worth it.
Yes.
And I mean, when people say, you know what, the next Halo is being made by Bungie, it might be the same exact people from 343 just under the Bungie umbrella. But because people see Bungie, those people who played Halo 1, 2, and 3, they're like, oh, Bungie's back, and they're gonna buy it. So
Or
it
Destiny.
might just be, it might just be the namesake, I think.
But I guess to kind of do the bookend on this, it's something where if a 5 time.
Booker T's booking, yo.
But
The rock bottom modified.
unbelievable. But
You on Spotify?
if there any truth to that rumor, I would not want it to happen. I think Bungie served its purpose to Microsoft, and now they're already firmly planted in multi-console, PC, Xbox One, and PS4. It would start the whole flame and fanboy fights and all that. Like, you know what? Everybody gets to enjoy what Bungie was offering to the Microsoft brand. They get to see what the first 3 Halos were all about, in the sense where this is what Bungie was able to create. You know what I mean? So, like, if you play Destiny, those of you who like, my first impression, this felt like an old Halo game. You know what I'm saying? So I think that they would hurt the gaming industry as a whole, like the consumer, especially on the PC and the PS4 side of the house. Like, why snatch them away like that? That's just kind of messed up, So we'll see how it pans out. But bringing this particular topic to a close, those of you who are joining us live, stand by. We got some little music in the background for your entertainment. For our YouTube people, we're gonna split this up. And, join us for the next segment where we're going to hit another topic. So thank you for supporting. And we'll see you in a few minutes for those sticking around. So this has been the staff. We'll see you in a few minutes. And a quick second. What? Unbelievable. Nelson, you make it too easy, man. Oh, man. I know. It's like, but it's all goody good. Unbelievable. Shout out to our viewers, and hopefully NYC Playboy's on. And
Shoot, Trigger Belly. Hold on.
I don't know if he's on so
Don't
far.
don't fight him.
I know.
Let's see.
He's still engaged in the game.
What?
Yeah, it's just myself.
The man that did it.
It's Cap, and probably just one random viewer watching.
All right, and on a side note, Thursday night SmackDown is on. You got Ryback and Dolph Ziggler versus
And Gutex is on.
Gold and Stardust. Why did he get punched and did a forward somersault? Unbelievable. That I'm done.
It's wrestling, Alex. What did you
Hey,
think?
Alex, guess who I'm rematching, Alex?
Bootex.
Yep.
Are you gonna record it and have us put it up? Oh, by the way, it's not over. The Capri.
Nah, we're done, yo.
it ain't over.
I'm fighting Gutex now.
You asked for that rematch.
Alex.
You asked for that
moved on.
rematch, and I gave
moved
you.
on.
No. It's 1-1 now. No, negative.
You said fun bun.
The tension is rising.
Hold on, yo. You might have to skip me on this next podcast. I gotta fight Gutex. Hold on.
No skipping. You put the
Yo,
shit down, sir.
he picked Evil Ryu again too. I don't think that's I think that's somebody else. Are they streaming? Hold on.
All right, Alex, just give me the go, and we'll start again.
All right. I'm ready to roll. Let's do this. New Gaming Order. We back like the Juggernaut, Mitch. This is our second segment of our podcast for February 5th. And for those of you just joining us from the YouTube side, make sure you check the first segment that Nelson had chopped and spliced together. So also you'll notice that there's somewhat like modifications going to the presentation. So we're always taking feedback and trying to implement what you guys want to see. And then shout out to Full Screen for taking care of us and helping us boost our subscribership. All right. So the next topic, and you don't have to do a lot of research for this, but it's just common sense when it comes to it. the GTA series, right? GTA 5 just sold 10 million units across the PS4 and the Xbox One. And it was already released last gen, but now you got this new version, enhanced and everything with first person mode and all that good stuff. Now, some people would say, hey, you know what? How does a game like that continue to push copies and such? And then you got, games like Call of Duty that come out every year. You know what I mean? And it's just like, okay, every iteration they're selling less and less. My thing is, you know what? GTA games come out when it's the right time. You got between iterations. I forget what the numbers were. You have 7 GTA games that came out over the franchise history, but then you have Call of Duty that's came out 2006, 2008. I'm trying to remember the exact date.
Woo!
That has what's that like 12 games?
Twice
And
in
it's
a row.
a couple of years newer. So it's just like, man, Call of Duty is churning out the games every year. But then, Grand Theft Auto, when it comes out, it folks are waiting for the next installment. They get to play, you know what I mean? So maybe how do you explain how Grand Theft Auto still stays successful, where Call of Duty sales decline every installment? So starting with Brother Noob, what are your thoughts on that?
Well, Grand Theft, there's just been a fascination with Grand Theft Auto because ever since it first came out, I played the first one with the overhead view on, I think it was PlayStation 1, where the people screaming like, and all that stuff. I mean, it was just a niche market, and you really can't get the Grand Theft Auto experience anywhere. It's like almost the closest thing to simulation that you can get, which is creepy. But I think the success comes from, like you said, they release at the right time. They don't shovel it down your throat. They don't. It's not
oversaturated with that game.
Right. They don't. You know what I mean? They don't. When the new one comes out, there's a true leap forward. The city is bigger. The story's better. The sound effects are different. Like it's like, and part of the reason I think they take so long to come out with new ones, it's like they rebuild the game from scratch every time. They're not just reskinning it and giving you the same animations, the same cars. Like, there's a lot that goes into it, and they go to these cities and they try to scale it in game as if you're in that city for real. So it takes a lot of work to do that. But they have the money and they have the resources, which I know the Call of Duty franchises do too, because I mean, you guys are selling over 1 million copies when you drop. However, eventually, it's gonna come to a point where y'all gonna have to stop and truly rebuild. And I don't think I don't feel like they've done that yet. I'm still enjoying Call of Duty. Advanced Warfare is my favorite right now, next to Modern Warfare 2. Those are my two favorite. But I think a lot of companies, even Battlefield, need to stop and truly rebuild the franchise. Take a L, take a year off to really tear it down and say, okay, what do we do wrong? Now let's get it right. Instead of saying, oh, you know what? We know that we can just reskin this, add about 10 new features, and we're gonna sell 1 million copies. That's what it's all about. Right now, it's about how can we become legendary and please the fans? How can we make more money? It's really what it's all about, with microtransactions and things like that. But I'm gonna leave it at that.
All right, and New Gaming Order fans, I am not in any way trying to compare Call of Duty and GTA in terms of games. Because honestly, it's like apples and oranges. You can't compare the games. We're looking at how the companies are handling, because GTA is selling 10 million copies. That's great. You know what I mean? And like Noop was saying, they're not jamming it. They're not doing the John Cena effect where they're like, here's another game, bam, you know what I mean? So, Shinwar, what are your thoughts on how successful GTA has continued to be in games like Call of Duty? Hell, even Street Fighter, like constantly, Street Fighter 4, Street Fighter 4 Arcade Edition, Super Street Fighter 4, Hyper, Omega. You know what I mean? Like they keep pushing out all that stuff, and history shows every time they upgrade or put a new thing like within a close time frame, the sales tend to drop. So what are your thoughts on this?
Well, I just want to start off to say that I just beat Gutex for the second time, round 2. Just want to put that out there. The video is actually uploaded now already, so it's out there. But it's a cash cow, Alex.
With every
as long as they can keep pumping it out, they're gonna try to keep making money. My only thing is, I wouldn't do it yearly. I just think that they don't allow these revisions and updates and new games with the same title and all that. They don't let it breathe. So for example, you get WWE 2K14, and we know the following year around October, November, there's gonna be the next one. Like, you barely have time for that other game, the previous game, to breathe. And I believe me and Nuke talked about this. Like, if they should let it breathe by doing DLC. So for example, going back,
extend the game,
extend the game. Like, it's just too much.
People have said that about and people said that about Madden a long time ago. Like, people are like, look, give us Madden for 2 years, give us one Madden for 2 years, and take your time to rebuild the game
and make sure it's a leap. Technologically,
EA just needs to lose the license. That's what needs to happen.
Yes, Jesus.
Okay.
That'll force them to make a better game, because from what I understand, the 2K football games from years ago are still superior to the new ones coming out.
Yep.
Thank you.
And that's a shame.
Yeah. That is
2005 was the last 2K football game, and Madden right now still can't do things that game did all that time ago.
Now, if a 2K game came out on this gen with all the new graphics and technology and stuff, that would be the best football game of all time.
History they had with 2K basketball, because a lot of people don't remember 2K football. You know what I mean? They didn't make it to 360 and PS3. But just off of 2K's popularity with basketball alone, if they came out with a football game, Madden would almost probably be dead, honestly.
But you know what? It's funny that you see, that's the thing. Like, Madden keeps coming out every year, lack of competition. You know what I mean? And it's what it is. But that'll probably be a topic for another podcast. Like, we'll discuss that. Should 2K and NFL make a deal and see if they can bring back that particular line of games and such, but we'll see. But getting back to the whole thing with oversaturation and why certain games do better than others, it's just, the writing's on the wall, as Gokin was saying. Hey, if you force it and you oversaturate your market, it's like literally every year a Call of Duty game has to compete against its successor the following year. And you expect somebody to go get, who has Advanced Warfare, to go back and buy Call of Duty Ghost? Like,
yeah.
No, that doesn't make sense. But GTA gives their games enough time to breathe and flourish, and that's why they hit that 10 million copies sold, and the game being a re-release. You know,
but you know what? Also, Alex, it deals with anticipation. So
Yes.
think about it. From Grand Theft Auto 4, which was on the 360, and then Grand Theft Auto 5 came out basically at the end of the 360's life cycle, and then pushed out again for next gen consoles. Like, it's a franchise. Like, not saying the other games are not, but they don't give it time to breathe. Like, for example, Street Fighter 4. Okay, we're done. Like, we're at the end of the rope with Street Fighter 4, and that's great. 2008 to 2015 or 2014, whatever. And now we move on to Street Fighter 5, which won't be until sometime probably next year. So, and then, you know, we're going to go through the constant revisions of that game. One thing, like NetherRealm Studios with Mortal Kombat, even with the new one, they had Injustice in between MK9 and MKX,
Yes.
so they let that breathe. You see what I'm saying? They gotta space it out, man.
Mm-hmm. All right, and then to bring it to a close, Nelson, your thoughts on GTA doing well with the sales, and in comparison to other companies that oversaturate with the same game over and over.
Did Chris have time to talk?
Yeah. Oh, did you? Yeah, Chris.
I said about 3 words.
All right, so if
Well,
Chris,
did you have anything to add
Chris,
to
if
it?
you have anything to add on, now's the time.
Yeah, it's I brought up the Wikipedia page on Grand Theft Auto. There were more games for the series than I thought there were, but in terms of the major releases, like 3, 4, 5, between 3 and 5, you had Vice City and San Andreas, so the gap wasn't that big. But it was Grand Theft Auto 3 was 2001. Grand Theft Auto 4 was 2008, 7 full years. And even then, it was 3 years. San Andreas was 2004, that was 3 years. So there's a big gap, and there's a big anticipation for these games. That's why people, buy them in so much. Mm-hmm. But with the Call of Duties and all them, I don't know what the draw is for these games. People buy the same shit every year. So it's kind of like people buying the sports games every year. You get a reskin, new maps, stories, and consequential.
People buy it.
I know, and that's why they keep doing it.
Like he just said, with that gap, if you know that this franchise only comes out every 3 years, that means that game is consistently probably selling for 3 years. Versus if I know I'm getting another one next year, once the new one comes out, the old one is dead. Like, it's gonna be bargain bin. You know what I'm saying? Yep.
And then you know what? And what happens? Folks will get the Call of Duty to do the campaign and then just move on. Like, I skip Call of Duty Ghost. I'm like, this is just too much Call of Duty. Like,
no, you just hate dogs.
Well,
and then the beat came in.
Unbelievable. All right, so Nelson, your thoughts before we break off to the next topic.
All right, now my point of Grand Theft Auto doing well, one, because it relates to everybody. Let's be realistic. If you're putting it in a real setting where people could relate to violence or sex remarks, whatever they may be, it's relatable to
the
our
last one was always
generation
like
now.
playing Sopranos character.
And and the thing is, it's like they're not oversaturating like Call of Duty or Madden or whatnot. They released them like a couple of years apart from each other, unless if it's like a very well needed expansion pack, like they did with Liberty Stories, Vice City Stories,
Ballad of Gay Tony,
Ballad of Gay Tony, stuff like that.
I can't, But, and even then, it was 4 years between that last batch and the 5th game.
Look at that. So it's a gap, and people eat it up because there's different reasons for people playing these kind of games. Like, I'll use myself as an example. I'm not really into Grand Theft Auto, but when I got 5 and all the stuff that you can do, it can be used, to pass the time. It could be used as a venting tool to alleviate stress when you're stressed out over work or.
Call of Duty, you can do that. You just want to shoot something.
No. See, here's the thing. With Call of Duty, it's a rage-inducing game. It gets you more aggravated than calm.
Are you talking about me, Nelson?
Especially, I'm gonna give you guys a bit of a history. Me, Noob, and Alex. Call of Duty Black Ops 2. Alex comes into
Black
the
Ops.
game right off of work,
Call of Duty.
and next thing you know, we're shooting, right? How come Alex shoots me and his teammate doesn't know which one is what? And then
I might have been mad at you that
wait,
day.
Wait, and then on top of that, he tries to shoot my helicopter that I earned. My kill streak.
Unbelievable.
Yo,
I was having a bad
Alex
day.
was like,
No.
I got you,
He's
I
jealous.
got you. He
He's
said,
like,
Alex,
I got
that
you,
was my
Alex.
helicopter.
I was having a bad day.
My point is, Call of Duty gets the person aggravated where Grand Theft Auto can peacefully ease the mind, you know, shoot some people, just
What?
randomly do stuff, drive
Ease the
around.
mind, shoot some people. I'm getting on.
You know, but the thing is, there's a
What?
that's another topic for another time with people like, you know, getting too mentally into the game and actually imitating it. That's another topic for another time, but they sell well. It's like the hot ticket. They know what certain games that attract people. Call of Duty is one of them. Grand Theft Auto is another. Madden, in the sense, yes and no, depending on its fan base. But the 2K franchise as a basketball, woo! Every fucking game, instant bought, instant purchase for anyone who likes sports games. And it's sad that 2K can't replicate their football stuff and do it for right now because they need the acquired license to do so. So it just makes everything worse, but they just know. These companies know what to do. They know what the people want.
Yeah, they spaced the time out. They spaced it out. And that's why
And they
GTA is
also
going
put
so
a
well.
lot of effort into the games too.
Yes.
GTA
Yeah.
5 was in production for over 5 years.
Not only that, but
And
the
that's
new
not bad
ones-
considering there's some games that take like 6, 7, 8 years to
What was it?
produce.
Final Fantasy 15 in production for 10 years, or Duke Nukem? Duke Nukem was in production for like 15.
That failure of the game.
But the thing is, though, the new Grand Theft Auto offers like a great amount of new expansion, a whole new first-person aspect mode, and there's free DLC coming for the game for people who already had transferred over their save file from the previous console to now.
So I don't get it, Nelson.
You know what else?
No, I didn't get the stuff. This is my first time playing GTA 5 on the.
You're gonna get heist mode, all right? So comment. You're gonna get heist mode.
Yeah, I never got heist mode on my copy.
Well, you're going to soon.
I don't have an Expo.
But you still get it regardless. It's coming up for.
Oh,
Yeah.
well, I would have to.
The
look
other
it up
thing
on
you gotta
later.
keep in mind with Grand Theft Auto 2 is that you have almost every genre of video games located in one game. You got racing, you got
shooting.
shooters, you got your RPG elements. I mean, it's just so much you can do, and that's another thing. They provide you with without even giving you any DLC. You're gonna be playing the game for months. You know, like a lot of other games, it's like, okay, wait, like a month later, you're like, okay, where's the DLC? I'm like, man, come on, you gotta give us more.
Okay, all right. So, wrapping this segment up, those of you who are live, just stay through the intermission. For our YouTube folks, we're gonna break this off. Make sure you go back and check out the last video, and then check out the next video. So with that, we'll see you in a little bit. Peace.
I'd
By
like
the
to-
way, does anyone have Shin Takuma on their Skype?
I do.
We don't talk about that guy.
I do. But just to let you know,
Shut up,
I feel like an idiot for every time we've been doing the podcast because they have their own section where you get to, the playing section on Twitch. You can put gaming talk shows. I didn't even realize
for real?
that.
Oh, well, now we know. It's all good.
Yeah, no, I didn't even realize that till now.
Shit, it's
'Cause
all hood.
right now, shout outs
No
to
one
the
is at the battle.
shout outs to the 7 viewers that are watching. What up, Playboy? Oh, he got on. Playboy's
I knew he would be on.
Yeah.
God love that man.
All right,
But
so
you know
let me crop up the video and you guys can keep going.
All right, but if somebody has Takuma, he had some information he wanted to share with us.
No, you know.
Well, I mean, I have his contact, but I mean, it's kind of
Is he-
late.
No, I mean because he'll be coming in on a different segment.
I mean, I can see if he's on, but I highly doubt it.
All right. Well, he sent me a message on Xbox while we were.
We having that 20-day-old news, yo.
Yo.
Yeah, Takuma, if you're watching, what needs to happen? You got to link up with us by 7:30 so we can bring you on, and because it takes time to set up the, the overlays and all that.
Nope, he's not on.
Why is Adam Rose beating up the Rosebuds? What the heck? Oh my god. Yo, he mad. He beating up the hot dog.
Alright, let's see who else is in the chat. Alright, well, shout outs to NYC Playboy 78. Shout outs to So Blessed. Shout outs to Bendy Boy, Cap, and Always Online 22.
What's up? What's up?
Yo, yo, yo.
Alright, so just let me know when you want to start the next segment.
Alrighty. Yeah, I'm gonna wrap this up with the whole fanboy thing.
Okay, so 5.
You're gonna talk about yourself, Alex?
Yes.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
What's going on, New Gaming Order? Damn, I was about to stutter, but it's all goody good. We back like the Juggernaut bitch. This is Alex Lexus Nelson, the New Gaming Order staff. And
Oh my god.
now
What the heck, Nelson?
This last topic, well, official topic, unless the staff want to bring up anything else, they can. But I wanted to lay the record straight for like the whole fanboy thing, and I just want to like pick everybody's brain as to when did.
Name my segment. Hold on. Go ahead.
Yeah, I'm trying to give you that, bro. High five. Anyway.
He slapped his own hand. He slapped his own hand, yo.
Patty cake. All right, but
Self high five.
Bang.
I'm ashamed.
all right, but okay. When did the whole fanboy thing actually start? I mean,
When
I'm
you
looking.
said it, Alex, is when you said it.
What I'm saying is, okay,
In general,
yeah, in general, because it's like I go back. I've been gaming for as long as I can remember, and I've always saw myself like, hey, as a kid, there was no. It was Nintendo, Genesis,
Used to wear a wig.
yeah, no hair, remember? But yeah, it was like, where did all the divisiveness begin? It's like, I get it, like, NFL teams, basketball teams, like, for instance, the major rivalry with the Boston Red Sox and the New York Yankees, it gets violent. People, the Yankees fans that go up to Boston and get beat up, if you know what I mean? It's craziness. But my thing is, like, it's okay to have an opinion. Like, hey, I prefer to play on Xbox, but I do have Sony products. Me and Nelson even argue about the Vita, and I can't be so much of a fanboy
Oh
that
my god.
I'm the only one lobbying for that Vita to get more support. But saying that to say this, it's just why have we become so divided? Like, even times like I find myself having fell into the ways of the community, and it's like, oh yeah, Sony this, Microsoft that, PlayStation this, Dreamcast that, Saturn this, and so on and so forth. And it's just, at the end of the day, can we remember that we are all gamers? It's getting crazy with folks on the forums, YouTube videos, people disrespecting each other over the only thing that separates the consoles is who manufactures them. One did it here and the other one did it there. Content is content, but I'm just kind of bothered by some things that I've been seeing. Like, there was a video I saw. There was a guy apologizing for comments he made over gaming. I thought we enjoyed the same type of content, but at the end of the day, folks had to grow up. The fanboys and all that, like the extremist fanboys, they need to stop. But Noop, what are your thoughts on this? And I just caught Chris. Are you cold, Chris?
No, I'm ashamed. I can't show my face because you're a little stunt with the high fives.
Oh, okay.
Oh my
Unbelievable.
god, he is king right now, yo. Chill.
you know where the fanboy stuff really came from? This is just a wild theory. Back in the day, I had a Super Nintendo and a Sega, and a lot of the times, the same exact game would come out on the systems, but they would be very different.
Yeah.
That's true.
Mortal Kombat being one of the biggest ones, where Sega that was a superior version because they had, oh Lord, I just hit a tree in Forza. They had the blood code, the blood code, whereas Super Nintendo had these shrunken down characters. It's like Super Nintendo had better sound effects, but when it came down to which one you'd rather play, it was the Sega version. That was like the beginning, because that's when we really started to really see a difference. And then I think with reviews and social media is what really started to do it, because then you have people actually comparing in these reviews, oh, we played the 360 version, we played the PlayStation version, and this is what we think of the two. And they started pointing out the small incremental differences. And you know what? They would always say in an interview, unless you put these two consoles side by side on TV side by side, you would never know the difference.
That's right.
And but the thing is, with YouTube and all that stuff, we do know the difference and we do see it. And I think some people superficially, in their mind, says that it matters, when at the end of the day it doesn't. Because to me, my most important thing is this: do you have the games I want to play, and is your hardware functional? That's it. I don't care if you come out with a Umbatu Jubala. If that joint has the games I want and the system,
that's an African Xbox.
Yo, you ain't right. You know what I mean? That's what it's about for me. So I mean, it's not about being a fanboy, because you can't really say fanboy because you're making a financial decision. You know what I mean? It's not like these companies are quote unquote doing anything for you. They're not sports teams, like you said. They're just separated by manufacturers, yo. So it's like, who deserves my money is what I'm really looking at. What are you doing to say, you know what, Mr. Wilson, come spend your money with us? And I mean, that's where my money goes.
And I think also what does fuel the fire is, like, you know, you got folks like who are like Team Xbox, Team Sony, and they'll be rooting their teams like, you know, like a sports team or something. Yeah, you want to see your brand do well, get the titles that you want to play. You would hate to see an exclusive go one place to the next. But, you know, I'm actually backpedaling a little bit and saying that, you know, I have the means to get all the systems, but it's just, you know, got to be financially responsible. And yeah, you know, you don't want to have to make a $400, $500 investment for one or two games on a particular system. That's fine and good, but, you know, the gaming community as a whole, why don't we become video game fanboys and not Xbox fanboys, Wii fanboys, PS4 fanboys? You know what I mean? We're just too divided. And that one podcast we were talking about, where, you know, maybe they should take down the barrier for cross-platform play. I know we had talked about reasons why that might not be a possibility, but if you really step back and think that, hey, maybe that'll kind of mend some of the wounds, because all the craziness that's happening in the world, fanboys fighting each other, it should be the last thing that is in the forefront. You know what I mean? But that's just my little rambling on that. But Noob, are you done with your point? Or
Yeah,
you said? All right, Shinwar, what are your thoughts on fanboys? Like,
Fanboys.
B-boys, what?
The real question here, Alex, is what is your real feelings towards Capcom, Sony, and Street Fighter V? Are you comfortable, and are you over the fact that Street Fighter V is coming out to the PlayStation 4, in which it's a console you already own? How do you really feel?
Wait, I gotta hear this.
As a
Everyone be quiet.
gamer.
I gotta hear this.
What?
Speak, boy.
Go ahead.
Oh, okay. Now, my true feelings about it, and I'm gonna be really raw when I say, to those people that were telling me, hey, shut up or whatever, fuck you guys, because I have a right to feel a certain way about something if it doesn't fit my needs. However, at the end of the day, I'm not a Sony fan. I'm not a Microsoft fan. I in that particular situation, I'm a Street Fighter fan. I felt cut off initially,
Now wait. There's the answer. You're a Street Fighter fan, so no matter what console it comes out on, you're a Street Fighter fan. You're not a Sony fan. You're not a Microsoft. So it shouldn't matter.
Yeah,
what console it comes on.
Yeah, and me as a quote unquote amateur game journalist, it's like I look at it and like, damn, a lot of people aren't gonna get to play it. But
that's not true. How do you figure that?
There's some folks who are in the fanboy mindset, like, oh, I'm gonna boycott Street Fighter because Microsoft didn't get it or whatever. Hey, there's some folks like that, but those who did play, they probably weren't true fans of Street Fighter. Like me and Shinwar used to play most of our Street Fighter stuff on the original PlayStation. I had.
Hold on, my brother.
I had
to play Dreamcast and Saturn.
And the PlayStation.
Street Fighter Alpha 3, actually. No, Alpha 3, because we modded the PlayStation. Yes.
What? I know what you're talking about.
Oh. Hello? Are we live?
Oh, I'm not even gonna answer that question.
Really?
But
what you're saying too, Alex. Yeah, no, he's right. A lot of people are getting cut off because if you don't have the system or a capable PC.
But here's the thing: the same thing as with Killer Instinct. We seen the flames go around from the Sony side. At the end of the day, if you want to play that game and it's only for one console, either you get that console or you don't.
But that's a risky thing though, because look, I am a fan of Bayonetta, but I am so scared of getting a Wii U with Nintendo's current situation. You know what I mean?
I hear you.
So it's something where it's like, damn, at the end of the day, yeah, you want to support all these people, and I don't like the whole fanboy divisiveness stuff, because, okay, you get an exclusive, Street Fighter, one of the biggest fighting game, the biggest fighting game franchise that's on one game, it's a console, you know what I mean? And the stupid fanboys are gonna sit there and try to stick it to the Microsoft people and stick it to the Nintendo people. It's like, stop all that, you know what I mean? Like, eventually, I just want to see peace in the community, because it's just too much.
So Alex, what you're saying is that you have a dream.
Anyway,
it's Black History Month and you have a dream. You want peace in the video game community. That is the slogan for this month.
Yes, absolutely.
But yeah, I feel you, Alex, because I'm one of those people who's cut off. I don't have access to it unless I decide to spend $300 or $400 on a console just for a game. That's not cool, you know what I mean? Or if I have a capable PC. But then the thing to me that's jarring, even if I had a PlayStation 4, it's a lot of gaming today is based on what your friends are doing and you playing with your friends. Yes. So if you don't have friends on that console, that definitely takes away from the experience, because now you have to reacquire and change a lot of things up. But for me, it's the financial portion. I mean, it's like, Street Fighter's been getting on my nerves for a little while, but when this happened, I'm like, okay, so now if I don't have to either buy this thing on PC or, you know what I mean? It's disheartening. But
no, you don't even care about Street Fighter no more. What you worried about it for?
Not for.
But my thing overall is like, I believe everybody has a right to prefer what they play on. Like, for instance, shout out to Black Dragon. Black Dragon, who trolls me all the time, but he watches our show, and he asked me to teach him Killer Instinct, and I'm like, teach you Killer Instinct? I'm like, well, I'm the last person to teach anybody Killer Instinct. I got blown up. But he's like, I got an Xbox One. But I'm like, the way he used to come off, like, he used to make me feel like he was a blind fanboy. But then again, I know that he's a true gamer at heart. He's older, he's like us, and it's something to the effect where he showed me like, damn, you know what? I got an Xbox One now. All right, hey, I'm gonna enjoy Killer Instinct. Just like Shinwar was saying, if you want it, you're gonna get the system. But not everybody. You got the kids or whatever, the 09ers, the people who just don't have those means, and the fanboy, the console divisiveness, and all that. It's just rough, man. No, but
and I do understand that. I think the companies don't make it any easier. You know, because Sony will do anything in their power and necessary to get their allegiance. You know, from the people.
They profit from the division. You know, so.
and same thing with Microsoft. You know, that's the business that they're in.
Yeah.
Okay, Chris. What are your thoughts on that? Like the whole fanboy nonsense. Like how can it be alleviated? Like,
to go back to one of Noob's points, I think the first time there was a real incident was with Mortal Kombat, the original one. Genesis had the blood, Super Nintendo had the gray shit. So,
the spit, yo.
The Super Nintendo version looked real clean though. Hold on.
Yeah,
the
but
Super
everyone
Nintendo
wanted.
version
Everyone
looked
wanted,
almost arcade perfect.
Yeah, but the Genesis one outsold the Super Nintendo one by a lot because it had the blood.
Yep.
Yeah, and then the Genesis one was kind of grainy too, like with the graphics texture.
People wanted the blood,
short,
so
yo, they were squashed.
Yeah, people wanted the blood, so that's what they got. But it goes to part of it's, you know, the internet being anonymous. The rise of the internet led to this, because back in the day you can only hang out with your crew. You know, you know, at least in my school, I was the gamer. There weren't that many gamers that I could play with. But it was mostly it was all Super Nintendo, and where I was from. So not too many Genesis players. But you know, the internet leads to a bigger audience. Also, is anonymous. So when you have anonymity and you can say whatever you want, people will tend to say whatever the fuck they want. So it's a matter of, hey, look, I could be a complete asshole and not get into trouble for it. So that's why you have this kind of nonsense. But you just hit block and move on if you don't like what the people have to say. That's all.
Yeah, it's just that some of the fanboys do get annoying. I mean, like they become like obnoxious, and it's not necessary. It's not necessary.
You just got to start trolling them back and get some fun out of them. That's all.
Yeah.
I'm told. I've called this on a few podcasts. We're all gonna be united under PCs after a while because PC never gets caught up in the BS.
Yeah. But you see, like to touch on Street Fighter 5 before I give Nelson a minute to talk on it. The Steam, when I'm playing Street Fighter 4 with Nelson, I don't know. Xbox Live to me performs very well, and I prefer to get my stuff on that because me and Shinwar have been with Xbox Live since day one. So, I mean, I've never seen any major issues until Xbox One came along and they're trying to expand the live network. I mean, that's to be expected. But, you know, when I'm playing Street Fighter on Steam and I'm doing my rank battles, I'm losing because of the lag and all that. I'm like, you know, so the PC thing, it may not be all it's cracked up to be depending on what you're trying to play. You know,
I think that's just you having a booty-ass computer.
Well, this computer's the bomb now. I don't know what you're talking about. What? Unbelievable.
I don't know.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, go ahead.
It depends on what you're trying to play. You're right, because I was watching Angry Joe play, I think, Call of Duty, and he was like, I think it was still peer-to-peer or something like that.
Yeah.
So it depends on, you know, the support that it gets too.
And
then, you know, I mean, Street Fighter wasn't really made for PC per se. It was really made for consoles. And it's just kind of like, oh, here you go, PC. You can have these Street Fighter scraps. You know?
And it was probably poorly optimized, so it probably suffers performance issues.
Okay, well, when Street Fighter 5 comes out, we'll see. We'll see. And you know what? I wish Guilty Gear Xrd had a PC port so that Chris can play it because
they'll probably have it soon because I just checked Steam. They have both BlazBlues and 2 of the Guilty Gears on there.
All right.
So they'll probably have it soon enough.
Okay, Chris, you would love that
Mugen
Xrd. That thing
Katsuke's Ghost is leading my race. I'm about to get the hell off, yo.
Oh, I'm gonna play Forza and make it even harder for you, Noob. But
hold on.
What the heck?
Hold on, yo.
I'm gonna make it harder for you, noob. What?
I can't. You know what? And you're a man of God, dude. Church man over here. Unbelievable.
Yo, you said it, yo.
Unbelievable.
And I'm gonna make it harder for you, noob. You said it.
Offended, yo.
Unbelievable.
You're a man of God.
Unbelievable. Shut the hell
Oh
up.
my God. He said, and you're a man of God. Yo, he was offended, yo. Oh my
I
God.
can't talk to him, man. I can't. All right, Nelson, your thoughts on fanboys? I mean, will it ever go away? How? I mean, I just can't take it anymore.
Honestly, I don't think it's ever gonna disappear at all until we have some like unity, like as what Noop was saying. I doubt everyone's gonna conform into buying a PC at the end of it all. I highly doubt it, because it's all preference. It's for people like, okay, I'll put it like this. I'll use me as an example. I'm not the type of person that's very fortunate to get money to be able to buy a $2,500 gaming computer. You know what I'm saying? But since
$2,500 for a gaming computer?
We'll just say.
And that's not even super high end.
Let's just say we're using that as an example.
I'm getting that Alienware, baby. Oh
Again,
yeah. 5600.
I don't have the necessary means to just get a $2,500 gaming computer just like that. So what is my next means of getting something of gaming? Consoles.
Yeah.
And consoles can be very limited depending on what type of genre you're into, whether it's shooters, fighters, and whatnot. Everyone always has their preference and their opinions of anything. There's nothing is gonna end. There will always be a side for everyone to be on. Whether if it's fanboys for Sony, fanboys for Microsoft, or fanboys for PC. It's never gonna end. It's just all of preference. But a lot of people say, oh, PC is neutral because they could just make fun of the consoles. You're like, oh, we can up the graphics, we can mod our game, we can do whatever the fuck we want. That's their saying. Then with Sony and Microsoft, it's always a battle because, oh, you have Killer Instinct on there. Well, fuck you guys, we got Street Fighter 5 on this. It's always something, and in my opinion, it's petty.
Yes, it is.
Because
it is.
It's basically internet beef that's never gonna get resolved. Because I had a couple situations with Leave Unknown, this person, and we was talking about how like he's very I don't know the right word, but anything that's Nintendo, he's like straight up dedicated. I wouldn't say if it's like hardcore or enthusiast. I don't know the word for it, but he's dedicated straight to Nintendo. And I'm like, dude, buy an Xbox, buy a PlayStation, and play those games because they have a lot of good first party title games. He's like, yeah, whatever. But anything that comes out on Facebook where, let's say, Nintendo makes like a little funny meme of squashing PlayStation or Microsoft at any given chance, he will hit that shit so hard with likes, comments, give it a hurrah, and all this other crazy shit. I'm like, dude, it's not that fucking serious.
That's not a fanboy. That's a backup dancer.
Whatever.
Damn it, Alex.
But it's really degrading that a lot of people have to be picking a side, and I'm surprised we can't just all come together and be like, oh, that game is cool. Okay, that game is not cool. And just leave it at that. Don't just say, oh, PlayStation's better because it has 1080p on the box. You don't know what the fuck 1080p is, so shut your shit.
And you know what, Nelson? It's funny. There's some people that, and it's not all the Sony fans, but there are some people under the sound.
I'll give you an example.
There's some people who will criticize Killer Instinct just because it's on Xbox One. Now, if it was on the PlayStation, that'd be like the best Killer Instinct ever. Stop
that. I'll give you an example right now. Give me 2 seconds.
Now, while Nelson's pulling that up, like, Shinwar, what do you think about that? Like, you got some folks who say Killer Instinct sucks only because it's on Xbox One.
I mean, they're just mad because it didn't come out to the other consoles, but that's messed up because just for that they refuse to get an Xbox One. So I just think that's dumb. All it is just hating their blood. That's all.
In the words of Shinwar, how do you know if you've never played the game?
Yeah. Yeah. There you go. But you know what? It's funny. I can't even. But it's just overall, it's just. There's some great games on both consoles, or the two main consoles, because let's be honest, the Wii U is more like a last-gen console, but there's something to be enjoyed on the Wii.
Last gen.
Well, yeah, I mean, Bayonetta, unless the Wii U drops in price, I don't know, I'm kind of scared to get it just for one game. But
how much is it, 200?
It's like $350,
I want to say.
About $350.
For the Wii U?
Yeah, because it comes
Saying
bundled
that?
now. It comes bundled now. Because if you buy the $299 one, you get 2 free games along with it, depending on what bundle you get.
The $291 one is garbage, though.
And let me tell you guys, if your Wii Pad breaks, you gotta get a new system. One of our viewers told me that. Yep. he told me that like it's in one of the older videos. He said if that thing breaks, you gotta get another system. You can't just take another one and put it in there. That's what was told to me. I'll do some more research on that. But imagine just for that screen.
Let me get this out of the way so I can just like end what I was trying to say. Now, of course, you guys won't really be able to see this, but you see like the little print that they have here. It's not describing any video display ratio here. What it says is basically the amount of players and if it's compatible with Smart Glass. The reason being why Xbox One games do this necessarily because they try to output it to either 720p or 1080, whether if it's native or not. They're going only to preference for people who have widescreen and people who have, you know, CRTs or smaller screens. That's that, okay? Now for PlayStation 4, this is all PlayStation 4, no matter what the fuck game it is. You see right here, I don't know if you guys can't really see it,
Yeah,
but it says
my
always.
Guilty Gear has that. Yeah.
It says always HD video output 1080p for every single game that they have. Now, on record, I'm gonna tell you right now, Sony, you need to stop because a lot of people is gonna start suing you for false information.
And then
It's
the fanboys use that as like a tool to stab the other group.
Yeah, but it's not always 1080p native. Only particular games are 1080p native. Some of the games don't even scratch 720p for that matter. They even try to, like the highest output
Upscaling.
The highest output I've seen Sony go to is 900p, which not many even people know what the hell that is unless if you have a huge ass TV. But if you have a small, like I'll give you an example right now. What we're doing the podcast on. This is a 24-inch. And in the back of me, I have a fucking 45-inch. You won't notice the difference on a 24-inch compared to a 45-inch when it comes to 1080p. So for all you guys, it's like, oh, but the console supports 1080p. You don't know what 1080p is unless if you look the shit up and you like know what is what.
But Nelson, if they're fanboys, they're not gonna listen.
But this is what I'm trying to get across. The fanboys will instantly argue saying that Sony is better because it has the higher output ratio compared to Microsoft when they respectively told you, yeah, not all of our games is gonna be in 1080p, but we're giving you the option so you can have it in widescreen at 1080p or regular 4x3 720. It gives you options. But people want to be a dick and be like, oh, it has it on the cover. It says it on the back of this box. Shut the fuck up. Just shut the fuck up, all of you.
All right. With that being said,
trust that box.
oh yeah. All right. With that being said, we can begin to draw to a close. But anybody want to bring up any topics or public service announcements for the group before we log off?
Yeah, I'll be doing the episode of Picking Your Brain with Noob on some smaller topics that are on the NGO page on Facebook. And guys, I want you fans out there, think about this. The possibility of a re-release. Oh my god. Hold on, yo.
What the heck?
Hold.
Noob's not focused.
No, yo, I'm driving Forza and these two cars hit each other in one flip. Recorded. But the possibility of a re-release of the consoles to have better compatibility with 4K video. How would you feel about that?
Oh yeah, I did a video on that one. I'm like, wow, more systems? That's ridiculous. That's ridiculous. But we'll see.
Too soon, in my opinion. But
All right, well, we can talk about that next week, y'all. Once more information is shed on that. But Shinwar, anything for the good of the group before we log off?
Nope, I don't have anything.
All right, Chris, anything? Steam sales, nothing?
get that account password, brother. Hold on.
Can you read
right.
that? Here, let me zoom that in. There you go.
Yeah. You got it all up in our faces. All right, and Nelson, PSAs?
Yeah, I'm actually gonna watch the stream carefully, guys. I'm not gonna say nothing until I pull the thing up.
Alrighty. Well, do you want me to tell them yet, or?
As of right now, you can.
Alright, so
right now.
New Gaming Order fans, today is the official launch of NewGamingOrder.com. I reiterate, NewGamingOrder.com. Everything in terms of the Facebook page, the Instagram, the YouTube, Screw Attack, full screen, everything will be consolidated onto that one site. So whenever we're giving information like, hey, check us out on Facebook and Twitch, no more. If you go to NewGamingOrder.com, we have all the buttons that'll take you to our respective sites. Okay, so on there you'll be able to navigate through the pages that are still under construction. However, when you click on the Twitch side, you get to see all the New Gaming Order channels. You know, so you can watch whatever live, you can tune in. If the main channel, which we're on now, is occupied, you probably will see Nuke playing Forza, or you'll see me playing Titanfall, or you'll see Shinwar playing Halo. You know, so we, you know, really collectively put things together. It wasn't cheap. We had to come out of pocket. So if you guys can help us out, that'd be great. But we're doing it for our audience, for you guys, and so that we grow. So it's the official launch of NewGamingOrder.com. And staff, whoever hasn't turned in the bio to Nelson, we got to get that up and running for the affiliates page and the About Us page. But we want to thank everybody that, you know, has been with us since the beginning and supporting. And you check out the site. It's officially up as of today. All right. And you know, any feedback, anybody want to help, hook up with me and Nelson and Brother Nuke, and we'll always take the feedback and apply it as best we can. What the heck?
Shut up.
All right, Nelson, anything you wanted to add with that?
Basically the same thing that you were just mentioning before. The website is officially up, guys, and like I said, I would like to thank everyone within the immediate staff for help making this possible, because without them, this would have never came to about. And this is a central area now. There's no more going to YouTube to find out where the fuck we're at. No more going to Facebook or anything like that to look up to see where everything's gonna happen. Your main and only source is to go to NewGamingOrder.com. Every information, whether if it's our YouTube, Twitter, Instagram, Twitch, everything will be on that website. Posts, reviews,
You said, man.
everything. So thank you guys for making this happen, and we will continue to make this website into something more and very user-friendly for everyone to use.
Alrighty, and with that, we're signing off. Shout out to those who watched this live and to our YouTube people. We're gonna start making sure everything is funneled through NewGamingOrder.com. And with that, if we don't have anything else, we're out.